Hello, my name's James Maples. Me and my wife are located here in northwest Louisiana on the Arkansas line. We're in Ida, Louisiana. I have 89-acre farm. Most of it's in timber. I rotationally graze sheep, St. Croix hair sheep, and chickens in our pastures. We use electric netting and the polybraided line for the sheep with step-in post. Every time my animals make a round around the farm, I see the pastures getting better. I see my chickens eating the bugs that would be eating my crops, and I see my eggs getting better and better. And along with the animals going around the pastures, I notice my pastures getting better. The amount of biomass, or the amount of grasses and grasses that I haven't seen since I've had this property over 25 years, and it's usually just broom sedge and goat weeds, whereas now I'm starting to see forbs like big blue stem and more grasses that were native to this area. Our soils out here is hilly and iron ore clay, so the compaction level is very tough. So if you were to till this ground with the inclines that I have, it's the first good rain, your garden beds are going to be about 25 to 50 feet downhill. So one of the ways we deal with that is with thick compost. And what that does is it helps retain moisture, it feeds the biology, and without that, the biology and that compost and leaving the roots in the ground after you clear a harvest out, the penetrometer, which shows the compaction of your soils, wasn't able to go like a couple of inches when we first started. Here lately they've tried it, and it almost went all the way in the ground, and that's I was blown away. But through not tilling and getting that deep compaction layer and adding the compost and the biology, through processes of just watering it to incorporating indigenous microorganisms which feed the biology, which inoculates the compost with good biology, and you start seeing worms coming in and other insects. And something I noticed after doing this a couple of years, the ladybugs, the praying mantises. You know, before being out here and starting this and doing it the way I'm doing, I couldn't tell you when I saw a praying mantis. Now I see them by the hundreds, and it's amazing. You know, it's like having bodyguards for your plants. I have livestock guardian dogs for my livestock. I have plant guardians for my plants. One of the main reasons we started this farm is I wanted to provide good food for my family. I wanted to learn ways to grow, but I want to teach my kids in this process. If I was not here today, my 10 and 11-year-old could go set up a paddock for my sheep. They could move the chickens, take up all the netting, and set up a new area and do this on their own. And they might not grow up to do this, but they will have a passion for it, and they will know what they had at one time and what they ate at one time. And if they're not doing that at that time, they'll know the difference. I have a 31-year-old, a 27-year-old, an 11 and a 10-year-old. So the older ones that were around when I did a little backyard garden, they kind of got me started back in the backyard garden. And this is when COVID came around, and you know, and you start going to the grocery store and there's not things in there. Well, we had already bought this property and had this property then, and my wife was like, we could be doing so much more for our family and our community out there. So that's when the Lord put it on our hearts to move out here. So that's why we're out here. If you have a passion for this, don't feel you have to do everything. Just pick one or two things and be good at it. And that's what I've had to learn, is you're gonna have failures, and from that, it just gets better and better every year, as long as you don't give up. And when it's 100 degrees or it's 10 below zero, and you gotta go haul water to animals because it's 100 degrees outside or the water's freezing, it's not fun. But it has to be done. So you have to have the fortitude to do that. But you'll have those 80-degree days, and you'll have lambs born, you'll have eggs laid, and you'll see that, and it's such a blessing. It helps you get through those times.